Welcome to the Rivalry Rant podcast. It's the Kentucky Wildcats versus the Louisville Cardinals and everything else in the world of sports. And now, your hosts, Josh Conder and David Smith. Let's get it on.
Welcome, everybody, to episode number 4 of the Rivalry Rant podcast. My name, once again, Josh Conder, your host here in the big chair, along with my co-host, David Smith. And for the first time in the history of the Rivalry Rant podcast, a guest host, one Daniel, Big Date Dan, Rodgers.
Big Date D in the house.
How's it going, fellas?
Going good, ready to roll.
Can't complain much, ready to go.
All right, so for everybody that doesn't know, Daniel's jumping in today on the side of the Cats, helping me out with the little backup here. The main focus for today is the NBA draft, so since Louisville doesn't know much about players getting drafted, that's why I brought in a Kentucky guy to help me out a little bit.
False. Fake news. Fake news.
But anyway, Daniel, one of our high school buddies, you and Dave go back a little bit, freshman year probably.
Sophomore year. I didn't really meet Daniel till my senior year, and I hated his guts. So luckily, most people did.
Luckily, we worked things out, and now he's one of my best friends, and we share a lot of UK time together. We are up until this past year, we watched the Louisville game with each other for like 4 years straight, maybe.
We didn't watch it this year?
No, this past year we did.
Yeah,
This past year we watched it and we lost, but we had like a hell of a winning record there.
Well, that's because we had extra people show up this year and they jinxed us.
Yeah, so.
But did you go to the casino this year, though?
No, but we hadn't done that
we
for a
had
year.
2 or 3 years.
I thought y'all kept doing that even after
We did 1 year, and then you
yeah.
couldn't handle the losses anymore and left us.
I couldn't handle the loss. That's why I stopped going.
We used to go up to the gambling boat with David and his bunch of salty Louisville family. And
it's a bad mixture when you lose your rival and then you have money and you have alcohol to go to the casino. It never ended up well, so I stopped going.
Yeah, but you all always invite us. Actually, there's a shot glass over there that your dad bought me, David, for 1 year at the game.
I still have that too.
Yeah. We're good people, what can I say?
If you remember though, Connor, we went with about 8 people, and me and you were the only UK fans, so Dennis, David's dad, made us get 2 rooms.
Yeah.
Every year.
No, Dad got the rooms, didn't he?
Yeah,
he would get the rooms. They're connecting rooms, but he would only me and Dad
you can't complain. He got the rooms.
But we were quarantined.
Yeah, we're not complaining, but we weren't allowed in your room.
Well,
at the
no,
time.
obviously.
But anyway, like I said, me and Daniel, a lot of UK games together. I actually took this man to his first UK football game, Kentucky against Florida T-Bows last year.
45-37 loss, I believe.
It wasn't. It was It was the second to last year because that's when he came back and beat us.
That when he got knocked out?
45-37 on the jump pass.
Yeah, that's when the jump pass bit.
That's the year they won the national championship?
No, it was the LSU year.
Yes, that was the LSU year. So they beat LSU.
Yeah.
Triple OT.
Because we were ninth.
So that was Woodson's year.
We were eighth in the country.
No, I think the LSU game was after the Florida game.
It was.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. What did you say, Dave?
Was that the year that Florida didn't win the national championship that year? Was that Andre Woodson's time?
Yeah, that was during Woodson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, definitely during Woodson. And I also took him to his first UK basketball game. That was a Vandy game. It was on a Saturday, and it snowed like 3 feet. They had even talked about canceling the game.
Who was the great big white boy that Vandy had? What was his name? Ogilvy.
Oh, yeah. They start chanting USA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good memories.
We had a lot of good times. Even this past year, got together, watched the NCAA tournament with Dano, and he's one of the diehard Cat fans, and you can't help but enjoying drinking beer and watching some basketball with him. David, your thoughts?
Sounds about right.
David
I don't have many thoughts on that.
David doesn't enjoy watching any sports with me.
Sporting events with Daniel because we have no teams in common. Me and Connor at least have the Cowboys. I tried to convert Daniel over to the Cowboys. For some reason he refuses, so we got nothing in common.
You can't just jump on the bandwagon when they get good. I just
I can't.
We offered it to you before the season started.
And then last year we had a strike in the pan.
Yeah, but then I'm still labeled as a bandwagon.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
Forever would have been.
Stick with my lines.
But anyway, last Thursday night we had the NBA draft, which is now known as the night of Kentucky recruiting. Dave, did you even watch?
I watched some of it, but I was watching the U of L baseball game, so I didn't watch that much.
Is that the game y'all got beat in?
Yeah, the game that they missed 0-4 with the calls, and well, the officiating was not good.
Typical Louisville fan.
You actually texted me the next day, or you or Connor won and said y'all got hosed last night.
It wasn't me because I didn't watch it.
It wasn't me.
No, it was you. I know you did. I'll go back in my text message and read it, Daniel.
Go for it because I didn't watch
I
it.
bet you it
You
was.
said you got hosed. It was one of you two.
It wasn't Daniel. It was me, but you'll never be able to prove it.
No, I have the text message. I can't prove it.
Well, that's why you can't prove anything during a podcast because nobody can see them.
Screenshot and post it on Twitter.
To your 16
See,
followers.
that's what I was
21 followers now. I'm moving up in the world, Twitter world.
But anyway, last Thursday night was once again a great night to be a Wildcat with De'Aaron Fox going 5th to the Kings, Malik Monk 11th to the Hornets, and Bam coming out of nowhere and ending up 14th in the lottery. Daniel, you know way more about the Kentucky guy. And Bam wasn't, I mean, they talked somewhere top 20, but was it a little shock to you to see him at 14th?
It was a huge shock to me. I didn't think he was going into 22, 23 range.
Yeah.
But I was glad to see him get snagged up by Pat Riley.
Yeah, and Pat Riley even made the comment that he was glad he finally got a Kentucky guy down there.
They said he was stuck in the Duke mold.
Duke mold, yeah. I love that quote.
Didn't Bam's stock go up though there toward the last week?
Oh,
or
he
so?
came on like crazy. He had a workout where he hit shot 50% from 3.
He shot 30 of 50. He hit 30 of his 50 from 3.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So I think probably you weren't too surprised because last week they were talking about him moving up in the draft.
I didn't think he was going to be a lot.
Still, all the mock drafts still had him 22.
Oh,
yeah. He wasn't. I didn't see anywhere where he was projected lottery, and it just came out of nowhere. So that, Calipari just loved it. So yeah, that's like the draft.
Yeah, you get airtime, recruiting advantage. Heck, he was on half the draft from what I hear.
He was.
I think that's why I turned it over back to the baseball game. Well, I'm done with this.
And then you had Donovan Mitchell, ended up going 13th with a trade where the Nuggets jumped up and got the Jazz, or the Nuggets
traded his rights to the Jazz.
Nuggets traded the rights to the Jazz, and there was a trade that involved another Kentucky player, Trey Lyles. So now that's going to have him sent to Denver, and Mitchell's going to be in Utah.
Has Lyles been a disappointment?
I think he's on a team that's hard for the style that he plays has been a little bit hard.
It's so hard to make an NBA.
Yeah, but I just expected more from him.
And not that he won't make it, but
his jump shot was
you see a lot of great players just not being able to get the playing time because it's such a competitive league.
So, David, your thoughts on Mitchell and Utah?
The coolest thing I thought about that is Darrell Griffith called Donovan Mitchell after the draft because Darrell Griffith played at Utah for years. He had a lot of success there. He went to the All-Star game a few times, so they were able to talk on the phone, and he was really excited about it. I like the sock show, too, when Mitchell walked up there, and he pulled up his pant leg. He had Louisville socks on. That was pretty cool. But I guess that's all the recruiting advantage we got in the draft. Socks, y'all had about an hour of Calipari time, so
well, Rick Pitino
we move on.
Rick Pitino was working with the NCAA on some stuff, but we're not going to get into that.
Well,
that's why he wasn't able to make the draft.
Here we go.
I think he was probably allowed to go to the draft. Well, I don't know. Who knows?
I bet he was busy.
Probably
talking to lawyers.
Probably recruiting.
He's doing much recruiting.
He's probably on the crap table.
He's doing a lot of recruiting right now. We got 2 5-star commits coming in. Recruiting better than they ever has.
I'm in love with the strippers.
Good shot. Good shot. I thought we were focused on NBA draft. We're back on the.
Well, it's got to come up.
How long have we been doing this? About 7 minutes? It took 7 minutes to get back on that track.
But we'll talk about something that all of us can maybe have a little bit in common here. The big trade of the night sent Jimmy Butler from Chicago to Minnesota, where he's going to be joined with, or not joined, but he's going to join and team up with Karl Towns and Gorgie Jang, along with Andrew Wiggins. Is this a team that you guys can foresee maybe have something going here?
I think so, definitely. I mean, they haven't really been that competitive, but I think they have a couple elements there that they can get to a place where they're going to be making playoff runs and things like that. Maybe not next year, but definitely in the future.
I really like Tibbs with that group. I really always liked him as a coach, and I think you're surrounding him with some talent now.
Didn't he coach Butler at Chicago?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
I think he did. But personally, for me, I don't think that they'll be a contender until they get rid of Rubio and get a point guard.
They're trying to trade Rubio.
Yeah. But, they're a good group of young players, but they definitely need a point guard.
They're not going to compete right away, but they definitely have core talent. I think it's kind of like the 76ers now.
Easy.
They're getting
They're a lot better than the 76ers.
No, I know that, but I think the 76ers have a bright future with the stars they got coming in.
Their last 2 picks in the draft as number 1 picks were 2 kids that didn't even make it in the NCAA tournament. Neither one of them made the tournament.
Well, still great players. I don't know if that really equates to anything. If you
No,
have
I
talent
think
around
so.
you.
So a guy that wins 9 games in college.
Well, but he
you
didn't
think
have
he's
anybody
that great?
around him. I mean, he was the unanimous number 1 pick. There was no doubt about it.
I think it's a
Well,
mistake.
see, you say unanimous. Did you see what the Kings came out and said? You can take it for what it's worth.
Kings had a good draft.
Kings, I
Kings
think,
had
stole
awesome
the
draft.
show that night.
You know, ESPN rated them as the 28th ranked draft.
Really?
Oh, they had
Yeah.
an awesome draft.
That's ridiculous. But they came out and said who they took at 5 was who they would have taken number 1. You gotta love that.
When did Monk go?
11th.
Monk went 11.
I don't get that.
I think
Look,
everybody was surprised.
I don't understand that. Obviously, I'm not a UK fan at all, but Monk is a pure scorer, and that league is a scoring league. I'm surprised he went out of the top 10.
His game definitely translates well to the league. I mean, I thought he would go a lot higher.
Weren't they talking about him being a top 3 pick there for a while?
No, he was never. I mean, this was a loaded draft. I think you're going to look back and there's just so many guys that are. There may not be elite all-stars, but there's just so many damn good players that came out of this draft. Cal came out and said that he was a little disappointed that he didn't end up in Chicago. But with leading
You mean
up,
New York?
or New York, excuse me. But I don't know what Phil Jackson's doing.
Why do people want to go to New York?
I have no
Why is
idea.
that still a thing?
Because it's the market, man.
I know, but Phil Jackson's ran that program into the dumpster.
Well, he wants to run the triangle from 1989.
And then he wants to get rid of their best player,
Who's their best player?
Porzingis.
Oh, okay. I thought you were throwing Melo out there.
No. I mean, they have
I
a
don't-
strained relationship, too. Why would you want to go to New York?
Porzingis, I could see moving him if you got.
You better get somebody damn good if you trading Porzingis.
Yeah, but if they would, like the talk was Booker in the 3rd pick, if they would have got that,
Oh, well, yeah, do that in a heartbeat.
you take it.
Yeah, I agree. Booker's a superstar in the making.
I mean, I don't mind him shopping him at all. I mean, I think any good GM is, but there was just so much where he was falling asleep during people's workouts. I mean, the man.
Great coach, bad GM.
Yeah, I mean, he's
He also had a lot of great players when he coached.
He still got how many rings?
Kobe
He got?
and
11?
Jordan and Shaq and Scottie Pippen.
I
I mean, he's a great coach, there's no doubt, but when you have that kind of talent, you're going to win champions.
he won one with Kobe and Marc Gasol though too. So
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, but he had Kobe. Kobe's a lot better than,
well,
let's say, LeBron.
whoa.
Well,
Okay.
My opinion.
take it back a notch.
Damn, if you continue to be a guest on the Rivalry,
If
you
Beavers
will
is
have.
listening, which I'm
Would
sure
you
he's
quit
not,
interrupting me?
he's
You
gonna
do
jump in
interrupt
the
so
microphone.
much.
You're so bad.
Typical Louisville fan.
I like interrupting.
Well,
It's a
don't.
hobby of mine.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
It riles you up, so it works.
Yeah, because when you leave here, I got to sit down for an hour and figure this mess out.
Proving my point.
Yeah,
Go on, Connor.
that's got to be it.
Do you remember your point
I
now?
don't think he remembers.
No. It's so simple, man. It's not even. It drives me up the wall. Between your snorting and
Interrupting.
ums that you say, love to say,
I've done pretty good on the ums.
you replaced it with the
You've
snorting.
been taking a public speaking class?
I did take public speaking class. I think I was doing it with Connor.
Yeah, you were. That was a joke.
Yeah.
That was a community college Wednesday night, once a weeker.
Yeah.
Good old days. But while I've got Daniel in here today, we got to tell this story that me and Daniel had back a couple years ago when we went up on the road trip to Chicago with our other friend Andrew and his wife Lauren, and it all came together, even taking that trip like so last minute. I'm a wrestling coach, so it was a Saturday. I was supposed to have a meet that day. I come in Thursday to practice, and I have like half my team sick. So we're obviously not going to be able to compete. Andrew texts me and says, "Hey man, I've got tickets on StubHub. I think we paid like $80.
It was a really good deal.
Yeah, $80, and we were 8 rows off the court in the corner. And he's like, dude, I found a hotel for $100. And I was like, look, if Daniel's in, let's book it. So we booked this trip, and we leave. We said we're going to leave Saturday morning. The game was at 1, and we left like at 4 o'clock that morning. There's a winter storm that goes like right across 65 for a good 20 miles. So we're driving up 65. It's been clear. We didn't like hit the storm while it was coming down. But we look up and we see flashing lights. They weren't cop lights, but they were just road flares. Go over this overpass, and it's a solid sheet of ice. So we had to slow down for like 20 miles for 15 miles an hour.
There was buses and cars all in the ditch.
That bus was, I forgot all about the bus. Yeah. And so we get through this, and it's almost 9 o'clock, I think. And me and Daniel decided we needed a beer in the worst sort of ways. Spoiler alert here, or not even a spoiler alert, just a warning to people. If you try to buy beer in Indiana, just know that they don't sell at Coden gas stations.
It's going to be hot.
Y'all should have learned that all the times we went to the casino.
Well, I mean, we were only in Indiana for 5 minutes going to the casino.
Yeah, but if you remember, there was never cold beer they sold before you got to the casino.
We never really tried to buy beer going to the casino.
Yeah, when we got a hotel room, we'd always saw that little liquor store, and they were always high because we'd always complain.
I had a bad memory.
What can I say? I never thought that at all. But, so we stop and we finally get beer, and we ice it down in this generic cooler. We have us a couple beer pulling into Chicago. Park our car. We decide we need to get something to eat, so we go down to this diner. And our buddy Andrew's sitting there, and he looks up and says, dude, that's Clark Kellogg. Me and Dan are like, I don't know about it. Well, as Clark Kellogg's about to walk out the door, Andrew goes, hey, yo, Clark. And Clark Kellogg turns around and goes, be in the house. Gives us all high fives, so that was pretty cool morning. The real story is when we get to the game, and we check out our seats. We got really damn good seats. Have us a beer. We're sitting there.
Multiple beers.
And Daniel's buying. They were like $10 a beer.
At least
Daniel
$10 a beer.
Daniel just kept jumping up and going and getting him. And of course, I wasn't going to stop him. But Daniel looks at me and says, "Dude, that little boy looks just like Tyler Ulis." And he was wearing a Ulis jersey. He said, "Wonder if that's his family." And I said, "Man, I don't know about that." And I was like, and they're literally right in front of us. Well, as the game goes on, we're like, dude, that's Tyler Ulis' family. Because every time he did anything, they would clap or anything. So Daniel just starts yelling, "I love Tyler Ulis!" every time like he gets an assist or anything. Well, finally, this older black lady stands up and she goes, "That's my grandbaby!" and like starts high-fiving me and Daniel. So that's the story of how we met Tyler Ulis' grandma.
It was a really good day. I believe we beat UCLA by 41 that day, too.
Yeah, we beat the brakes off of them.
Jumped up 24-0. Got to meet Tyler Ulis' grandparents. Good day in my books. What do you think, David?
I wasn't there. I don't know.
Have you ever met any players' grandparents?
Actually, yeah, I have. I met a little bit different scale and skill level, but I met Elijah Justice's grandparents, the
Good
Bullet.
people.
They sat in front of us, except they were really high up at the M Center.
So the walk-ons aren't getting the lower levels, is that what you're telling me?
No, and actually it's on the back it said Bullet's grandpa.
Bullet?
Yeah, that was his nickname, Bullet.
That is the most Eastern Kentucky nickname I've ever heard in my entire
Where was he
life.
from?
Pikeville, right?
Pikeville.
Pikeville?
Yeah, he's down there in the mountains. That's pretty. You never told me that. That's pretty.
I kind of forgot about it until y'all just mentioned it.
Yeah, that's pretty entertaining. Any other stories that with Daniel with sports that you'd like to? While we got him here.
No, I do remember we went to a football game. I think it was a U of L UK football game, and your brother was with you.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And we were walking. Of course, U of L tailgates get pretty rowdy. We're walking to the game. I think that was during the strong years when Teddy was there. We're walking through the game, and your brother at the time, not really notorious for getting in fights, but he was kind of a tough guy.
He was a hothead. He still is a hothead.
Remember that guy was like 5'6", hammered, and and was yelling at your brother. Your brother got in his face and screamed. I was like, "Shut up! Shut up!" And he was just baffled. He walked back. He was like, "Oh my god!"
That Louisville fan got in our face, in me and my brother's face, and was doing the whole woo. And John just couldn't handle it. I don't guess.
No, that was funny.
That was funny. Was it as funny as when your dad got mad at the hotel clerk after the Sweet 16 game?
No, we can't go into that.
Yeah, we can't go into that.
Okay.
Next,
have
you talked to your brother?
Sean? Yeah, I think he's gonna be on next week.
All right, next week.
Save it for another day.
Yeah, we're saving that one for when Sean's here. Because Sean's the only reason I made it through downtown Indianapolis that night.
Yeah.
Because he's the only one that even talked to me after that loss.
Other than our win that night, that's my favorite story of that entire event.
It was a good story. It's funny now. At the time,
But anyway, back to the NBA draft for a second. You guys know that I'm got a little bit of a sports gambling addiction. And right after the draft, they released the odds for the Rookie of the Year next year in the NBA. And there's a lot on here that I like as far as odds go. Just off the top of your head, who do you see him potentially being the Rookie of the Year next year?
I have no idea.
And you got to remember, Ben Simmons is actually eligible because he really didn't play any last year.
I mean, as you all know, I watch every U of L basketball game, every U of L football game, and I watch a lot of college football. But I don't necessarily watch every college basketball game on TV, so y'all will probably have a better insight on it than me. I mean, I look at Lonzo Ball, and the only reason I say that, I don't know a lot about his game, but he's in LA, he has all the media hype. I think he could win it on just popularity alone. But I think you have to put Monk in there too, just because he's a pure scorer.
Well, you had Lonzo, and Lonzo's at 5-2, so he's your favorite right now for Rookie of the Year.
But I don't even know if necessarily he'd win it because he's the best rookie. But I can see him winning it because his dad's an idiot, and they get all this media hype.
They're going to get the media attention, but his jump shot's broke. His jump shot is so ugly, I don't think he can get it off in the league. But I'm going to go Monk.
You're going to go Monk?
I'm going Monk just because of the scoring ability. But he might not play much.
Even being in Charlotte where, Kemba Walker's going to ball hog.
Kemba Walker's going to hog it, and he's still got to play behind Nicholas Batum. But, if he gets a little bit of time, he's going to be a scoring machine.
Monk was 10-1 before the draft when everybody was projecting him to New York. He's now 16-1. I like that bet at 16-1. If you had $100, I'd probably go that.
Who's the tall white fella from Arizona that got drafted? I think went to the Bulls.
Is that
Mark Hannon?
Yeah.
I think that guy's got a good shot
he's
too.
22-1.
Is he? I think he's got a good shot.
22. But a guy who I think, and he's not even a Kentucky guy, that I think is either boom or bust, and I'm talking going to be great or not going to do anything, is Dennis Smith Jr.
I watched
Did you hear what he
games.
said?
What did he say?
That finally when he goes to the NBA, he's going to learn how to play defense.
No, I did not hear
I
that.
didn't hear that.
Yeah,
That's
shot on their
ridiculous.
coach.
I guess who was it? Mark Gottfried?
Yeah.
Was that their coach?
Yeah. But he's also coming in at 16-1. Simmons is 3-1. Fultz was 5-1, and De'Aaron Fox 7-1. And then he had Josh Jackson and Jason Tatum at 9-1.
Ooh, I forgot about Tatum.
I
like
Tatum
Tatum.
right there.
I like Tatum.
I might throw a hundy his way. Just early on looking at this.
You are betting in the dark.
He is. Just, Tatum sounds
Dude,
good.
the great odds, man.
I would have no clue. I have no clue.
Justin Jackson's 22-1.
Where did Justin Jackson go?
I have no clue.
Yeah, write him off.
I know.
Write him
It
off.
sounds like you have a really good plan for your sports betting.
Not at
I
all.
think I'm going to put money on. Where'd he go? I have no idea.
Write him off. He's nothing.
But also out of draft night,
It's a bold statement.
we got the news that Louisville had the highest ratings for watching the draft out of anywhere with a 5.3 share. So, looking at that number, and I love that Louisville fans just talk about it all the time now, even though, guys only had one player get drafted. But the Kentucky effect, I think, is what you see that big number come out of, because probably half the population of Louisville is technically Kentucky fans. Would you say it's probably?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so you got a 50-50 fan base there, and Kentucky fans, every Kentucky fan I know watches the draft now because it's a Calipari infomercial, and with that kind of ratings that they got for it, to me, is just makes more sense that Louisville's ready for an NBA team.
Well, I'll tell you the wild thing about it is Louisville was playing in the College World Series on the same night as the draft and still got the highest rating. So you're telling me that city doesn't need an NBA team?
But let me tell you that. They also had the highest rating for the College World Series.
That's what I was about to say.
I did not know that.
More impressive that the college, U of L played in the college game.
But does that mean maybe we're just a college town? Maybe,
I go back and forth with it. I go back and forth. Sometimes I think NBA could do great in Louisville. Sometimes I don't think they'll do that well. And a couple reasons is because UK and U of L have such passion for their teams. Are they going to have time to invest that much into an NBA team?
I think hands down it would go over because let's just say I have been on the wait list for UK basketball season tickets since I would have been like 21 years old. I may never even get season tickets until I'm like 60. And there's so many people throughout the state that have never even got to go to a game in Rupp Arena. So you're telling me all these Kentucky guys that are in the league now that people wouldn't want to come out and see them. Like, I'm not a great big NBA fan by no means, but if we got a night where there's 4 Kentucky guys playing against each other, ticket I can find for $25-$30, go drink a couple cold beer, I'm in.
Oh, absolutely. But I don't necessarily know if the success is going to be based on what U of L or UK players in the NBA. I think it's going to be more of a love for basketball than necessarily that.
But
I don't think you're going to be able to support a team just because of.
I disagree with that.
You're going to pull from Nashville, Louisville, Lexington, Cincinnati. There's so many huge towns that are within a 2-hour drive from Louisville that you're going to pull fans up from.
What, Indy's 4 hours away and it's our
You got the Pacers up there,
it's about
too.
2.5.
Yeah, 2.5.
I thought it was further than that.
But you're going to pull that southern Indiana, Kentucky, Anna region where people just love basketball. And I think there's enough big name companies in the state that could make it happen. And hands down to me, I think it would go over really well.
I definitely think it would. Think about it. One of our best friends' wives made him drive all the way to D.C. just so she could see John Wall.
Yeah.
So, I definitely think it's a possibility, and I think it should happen.
I go back and forth. I think another thing people don't think about, let me know what y'all think. U of L and UK fans are so committed to winning. They have such high expectations. You've had 2 successful coaches win, and then before that, you had Denny Crum, you had Rupp, you had all these great coaches win, okay? If an NBA team comes in here and you give them a few years and they don't start winning as far as making the playoffs and competing, I think you see attendance drop a lot because U of L and UK fans have such a high expectation to win.
But here's the thing I see about NBA. It's kind of what you guys did with football games. It's an event. There's the music's going, and there's just so much there for. Even when it's a timeout, you got something going on the floor where people are constantly. It's a social event that I see, and Louisville has so many of these businesses that you're all the time seeing companies talk about like their company picnics and company outings. If they can go in and buy tickets to the game, 100 tickets in one spot, that's kind of awesome. To me, I know what you're saying. You think it's fueled on winning, but do I think it's going to be a fan base that's going to be one of the best fan bases in the NBA? Probably not. But you're going to have diehard basketball people who want to watch and want to be involved with it.
I tell you what, if you get an NBA team that wins in Louisville, you might have one of the most diehard fan bases around.
I agree. It's hard to do in a small market like Louisville when you have these super teams, though.
Yeah, but your small market, you're getting the biggest draft rating.
Yeah.
It's hard to compete anywhere right now in the NBA with super teams.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I love it. I would love for U of L and UK fans to have a common interest, to be actually able to go to a game with you all and actually be able to root for the same team. That would be nice.
Let me ask you this. Could Louisville and Kentucky fans put aside their hatred for one another to root for one team?
I think so. 8 teams go.
I don't know either.
Well, who are you going to root against, though?
I'm just saying that's the only issue I would see with it is I don't know that they could put their differences aside.
Okay, let's hypothetical here. Let's say the NBA team comes and Calipari coaches it. Are you going to support it?
That is a radical.
And we're not going to support the Patino coach.
I get away that the two teams wouldn't support.
All right, what about this? Because this is actually logical. Boogie Cousins. What if he's on the team? You support it? Because I know you hate him.
I would support the team.
But you just wouldn't cheer for him?
I mean, I guess I would cheer if he did something good. But, like, I really like Anthony Davis. You know.
Two totally different players, though. You hate Cousins because you think he's a punk.
Okay, but there's been players that have played on U of L teams that I don't necessarily like, but I cheer for them because they're on the team I like.
Montrezl Harrell.
I'm not naming any names.
But he's one of them.
But that is true, though. I mean,
did you and Cousins have a little confrontation one night in Lexington?
I don't know if you call it confrontation.
If I remember correctly, you were talking smack about him all night long.
Yeah,
and then you saw him.
I was like 19, I think.
No, we were 21. 21. But you were talking at the drums all night about Cousins.
Yeah, and then
I think you might have actually said you were going to whip his ass.
Then you picked me up and threw me out of the restaurant to get away from him.
Well, do you blame me?
Hey, you're only 3 inches shorter than him.
7 foot.
Hey, you're 6'6", 6'7".
That's 6 inches shorter than him. Also, I have no muscle. I'm all body fat.
That's touche. Can't argue there.
But I guess the good thing about it would have been if he did hit me, maybe he'd been suspended a few games. Take a lead for the team.
I think we already beat you
off.
By like 17 or something.
I was still, you know.
You're just trying to help out the SEC guys?
Yeah, SEC guys. Help out West Virginia.
Typical. You're an SEC homer. That's all you ever talk about is SEC football.
Yeah, let's not dive into that. My SEC football, guys, I can't even go there.
Kind of like ACC
My
basketball.
blood pressure's going up as we speak.
But, guys, it's been a slow week. So, for those that don't know, Daniel's expecting his first child here in October. I should have known that.
Yeah.
And, David, you just had a child. Any advice you give to Daniel leading into his life with the baby?
The hospital after the wife gives birth is not a fun place to be. You sleep on a piece of cardboard, basically, and every 30 minutes there's somebody come in to do something. You don't sleep, the baby's crying, but it's the best experience in the world. What's weird about it is the delivery room is huge. You're like, man, I'm in a palace. Like, this is awesome. And then after they have the kid, they ship you to a room about the size of the room we're in now.
That ain't very big.
Except with a hospital bed.
Connor, you need a bigger house.
I am tired of it.
No, you have a good room, I'm just saying.
For the record, I've bought a new computer, 3 microphones, had some help with the board mixer to get this all set up to keep this rolling, and I've got nothing but crap for it ever since.
Well,
I actually texted you today and said I appreciated it.
It was a pity appreciation, though.
I think it's awesome. I'm just kind of confused by what the hell this big board is.
And I asked you to give him advice, not tell him what it was going to be like.
Yeah, you did just like straight tell me. I mean, is it going to be
maybe
like...
he's going to a different hospital where they got a pull out for him, you know?
Yeah. I'm going to the fancy hospital.
There's not any really advice you're going to pick up on it as you go. I had no idea what I was doing, and now I'm totally comfortable.
Yeah, but I mean...
Basically, here's my best advice. Do whatever Gabby says to do.
Oh, well, I always do that anyway.
Well, now we're going to pay Gabby money since you brought her name up
yeah.
this, so way to go. You're going to pay that.
I've learned that lesson a long time ago.
I'm trying to give back.
There he goes interrupting. Did you hear him interrupt?
You are really bad about that.
Well, it could be the theme of the show.
How's the sleeping situation?
It's fine now, but the first 6 weeks we didn't sleep. Julia didn't sleep at all.
Okay, I'm done talking about babies because I don't have one to talk about.
He brings it up and then he changes the subject.
Well, we talked about it for 2 minutes now.
That was not 2 minutes.
I can't.
Let me talk about my damn baby.
That was a fast 2 minutes.
Whoa. But anyway, you mentioned something to me earlier today about a problem that you saw in society. So would you like to bring that to the table for discussion?
For those of you who watch Seinfeld, this kind of reminds me of like a George Costanza predicament, where if he sees a problem that he feels like is not a social norm, he has to call it out. Ever since me and my wife got together, anytime we go to the grocery store or something with my stepson, we'll be going to the grocery store, they'll grab a bag of cookies, drinks, and they'll start opening it and like eating it in the store while we're driving around, you know, in the cart. I remember the first time I did, it's like, what y'all doing? Y'all haven't paid for that? And they're like, well, we pay for it at the end. And then at the end we go, they'll pay for it. The cashier never says anything. They're always fine with it, but I just thought it was out of the ordinary. I mean, they don't care, so I guess it's all right. So really, I was just wondering what your all's thoughts were. Is that acceptable?
I come from a family where for years I saw my father always open up a soft drink when we walked in the store, and it's bugged me all my life. So I couldn't imagine opening cookies up. that has been like, I understand grocery shopping's kind of like something you don't want to do, and a snack might help you power through it. But I'm drawing the line when you're opening up the cookies in Walmart.
I've seen several people eat grapes while they're walking through, but
no, it's not. No, don't do that.
I don't think it's acceptable, but
this
I've seen it.
This is a public service announcement to David's wife. Stop doing that.
That is madness. How do you eat cookies and drink pop while you walk around the store?
You know what's weird though?
The drink, I could like halfway see, like I guess seeing Dad do it for
years. Are you dying of thirst?
If you all don't quit interrupting me on my own damn show, I'm gonna lose it. I can understand the drink, but when you go walking around, is she eating at least the fudge stripes like the good cookies?
Milano, double chocolate.
Ugh.
Those are pretty good, actually.
They're great.
They sound expensive.
Oh, they are.
Yeah. I'm Keebler Elf for life.
Haven't had those since I was 6.
You mentioned the grapes.
Nobody thought the Keebler Elf thing.
For some reason, if I saw somebody eating grapes, I wouldn't think about it.
It's because it's a norm. You see it all the time.
But that shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. Why cookies but not grapes?
I'm not letting anything go.
Eat
when you get home. Eat before you go to the grocery.
But have you ever been to the grocery? You see a bag of grapes, they're open. They're always open even before you get them.
What about a banana?
Yeah, but you gotta peel a banana.
They could have been spraying them off.
Yeah, but they're still always open. The bag of grapes is always open.
The guy didn't close them after he sprayed.
You gotta rip open a bag of cookies.
Yeah, I'm saying neither one of them's fine.
You know what? Grapes might be worse because don't you buy those by the weight?
Oh, you do?
That's even worse!
I think you do.
That's stealing!
Yeah, it is.
The cookies aren't even stealing. This is stealing, folks. It's stealing.
For the record, I've never done this.
You brought up grapes.
I did bring
I think you're a grape thief.
What about the trays of like the peanuts in it and stuff?
What are trays of peanuts?
You know, like you scoop them out and put them in the...
I never believed
I feel like people grab them all the time. So
hold on, where is this magical thing of
there's got all everywhere. Kroger's got them.
They might have them yogurt pretzels in there, you know.
Yeah.
What?
You can buy like a bag and like say if you just want peanuts, you can buy peanuts by the pound in a bag or like dry raisins. They got all.
Is it cheaper than the $9 planters I buy?
Probably not. It's probably just for liberals.
Well, that makes sense. that makes sense.
It seems like a very liberal.
It does.
Liberal idea.
Jesse, my sister, if you're listening,
I don't care.
I'm sure she is eating all kinds of those peanuts if it's for liberals.
But to end today's show, like I said, slow week in the world of sports, and I previewed this last week. Daniel Rodgers is the biggest Tom Brady bandwagon I've ever seen in my entire life.
Don't you call me a bandwagon.
And he also has a huge male man crush on Leonardo DiCaprio.
He's going to do it. He's going to pit me against my two favorite people.
I'm throwing this debate out there. Daniel, for one day, if you could be Leo or Tom, who are you going with and why?
That's an unfair question.
No, you can't have them both. No threesomes allowed.
Give me a little insight, David.
Well, first of all, I gotta say something. You need to change the question up a little bit.
Okay.
Because you said one day. So that one day, if it's the day Tom Brady wins the Super Bowl, you're gonna pick that.
Okay.
If it's the day Leo wins with the Oscar, you're gonna pick that.
Finally won one. So we'll give you a month. Okay. Get to be a month to be one.
What about just you be one? For good. Get a pick.
No, it's my show. Month.
Give me some insight, David. I need some help.
I mean, I'm taking TB because I'm a huge sports fan. And I feel like as a kid, when you're outside and you're like throwing a football, you're pretending like you're in the Super Bowl. Right? Y'all did that.
That's true. I never really walked around the house pretending to be Leonardo DiCaprio. But I'm going Tom Brady. That's hard for me to say, but I'm going Tom Brady.
You're going Brady?
TB all day. He's my boy.
I would go Tom Brady unless I could be Leo DiCaprio when he was filming Wolf of Wall Street. And then I'm going Leo during that.
Yeah, can I be Leo during Wolf of Wall Street? Because then I change my mind.
Well, we're not going to say why we feel that way, but yeah, sure.
Then I change my mind. I'm going Leo. And it's all because of Margot Robbie.
I feel like that ended really bad for Leo, though, to pick Leo. He ended up...
No, I don't want to be Jordan Belfort.
He doesn't want to be the character.
Okay. You don't want to be the character. Just
I don't want to be Jordan Belfort. I want to be Leo, the actor.
Okay.
Still going to be.
Here's the second one, and this one just came to me just a minute ago. You could be the Rice Krispie guys or the Keebler Elves. Who are you going to be?
Neither, because I don't eat either of them.
You got to be one.
I don't eat them.
Is it
You
based
gotta
on
be
what you
one.
like?
Not just based on... I'm going the cookie guy because Rice Krispies suck unless they're Rice Krispie treats.
Dude, you gotta douse sugar on those Rice Krispie treats things.
Exactly. That's why you go...
Like the cereal?
Rice Krispie treats. Have you ever had Rice Krispie treat cereal? Not
Yes.
Rice Krispie cereal, Rice Krispie treat cereal.
Like the one with all like the milk already in the middle?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm not 6. I'm not
Oh
eating
my
that.
gosh, it's the best. They stopped making it for years.
Yeah, probably
I
just
feel
so
like
bad
it's
for
just
you.
Rice Krispies with sugar
It's Rice Krispie treats.
and marshmallow.
Like, if you get the Rice Krispie treat, you might as well cut those up and put them in milk.
You think that's marshmallow?
Yeah, it's marshmallow.
It's debatable.
Google it.
I don't taste much.
Google it right now. Rice Krispies got marshmallow in it. Guarantee it.
You're probably right, but
What else would make them stick together?
I don't feel like it tastes
Sugar.
like it, though.
Like nothing, it would. But it has to be marshmallow.
I don't feel like we're educated enough in this topic to really debate this.
Like I said, it just came off the top of my head. I'm trying to get 2 more minutes out of this.
So I'm doing Keebler because I hate Rice Krispies and I've always hated Rice Krispies. I at least eat the cookies.
David, you got an answer?
Yeah, they do.
Marshmallow?
Yeah.
Told you.
They don't taste like it, I don't think.
Still debatable.
That's a racket.
It's on the internet. That's to be true.
Yeah, he probably Wikipedia.
I don't know what source I looked up marshmallow treats, Rice Krispie treats.
Did you look up marshmallow treats or Rice
No,
Krispie
I looked
treats?
up the Rice Krispie treats had marshmallow.
Okay. Best cereal, go.
Captain Crunch.
Rice Krispie treat cereal, that's my favorite.
That's not a thing.
No, I swear it is. My wife will attest to it. They discontinued it for like 10 years, and we were in Walmart aisle like 6 months ago, and I saw it, and I jumped for joy.
Well, she would know because she probably opened up a box 10 years ago
That's true.
and ate it while
Walked
she was
She
around the
might
store.
have. She might have.
So it's just miniature bars of Rice Krispies that are in the cereal.
Yes, it's great. Try it. It comes in a purple box.
Refuse.
All right. I'm going to wrap up here because we're getting just crazy out there at this point. Daniel, what's your thoughts on the rivalry rant so far and any suggestions to me and Dave to make it better?
I have not got to listen to the last one that you all did. Now, the first one I listened to about 20-something minutes and got interrupted and had to quit, and I never went back. I forgot.
Okay, this is not good for radio.
The second one was fantastic. I'm going to listen to the third one because it's going to be my favorite one to listen to. I mean, it's going to be...
But what'd you say with the second one?
The second one was great.
That focused around the audit that David said nobody cared about.
I mean, the audit might be a big deal, but I kind of side with Dave.
Oh, man, that feels great.
I mean, it's a big deal. But to someone like me...
And next time on the Rivalry Rant podcast, we have Sean Smith in here with us, and we'll tell some more UK U of L stories, as well as maybe look into next year's football season. Big thanks to Daniel Rodgers, who will never be back on this show after he didn't agree with me. We'll see you guys next week. Appreciate it.